again. Sorry. Moving on to the 5th sketchbook. So you're probably wondering why there's a 4 in this, because you know that this is the 4th sketchbook. Well, I was just stupid and I just forgot that I had already filled up 4 sketchbooks because I didn't, put a number on the other one. So here we go. This is my 5th sketchbook. As you can see, I corrected it afterwards. So this is my New Zealand sketchbook. I had this sketchbook only for New Zealand. I kept it close with me all the time. This was going to be my travel journal as well as my sketchbook, because as you'd see in my other sketchbooks, I always draw a lot of things that happen to me in real life because I take inspiration from what I live, because an artist has to be inspired by life and emotions and stuff, and so it's really important to draw things that are important to you because it shows in the paper and gives you ideas to create other stuff. So there we go. This is a pin that I bought at the Auckland Art Gallery, the Art Museum, sorry. It was fun. I had this friend and we were having fun and just like talking about stuff, and at one point we were like, oh, we should make a podcast and call it Noodles and Potatoes. And I would be Noodles because I've got noodle arms, and he'd be Potato because it's got potato head. And so because we were looking at these pins and talking about that, and we were like, oh, these are way too expensive, but it would be fun, right? And then so it turned into a very big joke, and it was just cool. And at the end of the time I was there, I bought these super expensive pins, and I got him the potato one and I got the noodles one, so now it's on here. It reminds me of good times. So as you can see, with this sketchbook I also was pretty quick, but this sketchbook I was quick in. I was super productive because being in a new environment, I was just very inspired, obviously, and there was so much to see, there was so much to draw, there was so much to live, and it was just so exciting. I'd say this was probably the best time of my life, art-wise as well as just life-wise, but I already said that my art and my life is closely connected. So in the back I drew a map of New Zealand. So it's very disproportionate. This needs to be a lot smaller actually, but that's where I was. I was there in Auckland. It was cool because we got some ocean on both sides. I was living more towards this side though, and it was awesome. I love my time there. So this is a Moleskine sketchbook. I bought this while I was still in London in the summer, because the thing is, in London they've got this thing called Kes Arts, which is a brand of, it's not a brand, it's like it's a series of shops. You can find them everywhere, and they sell art supplies, and they've got this discount in summer for art students. So there was a discount on this, and I wanted to get this for a very long time because a lot of people were talking about it and how awesome it was and how great it was, and I really wanted to try it out because people said it was so good, and I liked the format a lot. It had everything I needed. And so I was like, oh, there's discount. Now is the time to buy this because it's going to be expensive afterwards. So I like the sketchbook a lot because it's got the strap that I love so much, so that my paper is not, as you can see, it's not, going to explode, I'll say. So it's got the strap, it's got the tiny marker thing that I love so much. And also at the end of it, we've got a pouch to put all of my receipts and all my stickers and all that stuff, so I was super happy. This was what I wanted. It's small, it can fit in your pocket, it's sturdy and good quality, so I was excited to try this out. And you can see that afterwards I only used this because this has proven to me that it is worth the hype. It is a great sketchbook. It's very expensive, but it's really worth it for me. It's a good format, it's sturdy, it's got everything I need, the paper's nice, it works with almost all the media I use, so this is really good. So let's get into it, shall we? So my first page is my Singapore Airlines sticker. There's loads of stickers in here because it's loaded with history, and I know that this video is going to be so long. And I love these stickers. So yeah. And as a reward, I get people ice cream. I always write that in my sketchbooks now. I just like telling people they get ice cream because it's a way to meet people. It's cute. So that was my first day in Auckland. I just arrived and we had a cat. Her name was Snuggles and she was so cute. She loved me from the start. And so I was like, okay, you can get some life drawing done, and I drew her, but not in my sketchbook because I was too afraid, so I stuck the paper in afterwards. It was a lined paper. Then I drew this dude with Copic markers. Yes, I did. Then I drew this dude. I was just warming up at that point, because I really like using coloured pencils when I am warming up. Wait, I think the music is a bit too loud. There we go. So the next page is me just fooling around. So far, nothing outstanding, just like some stuff. Yeah, I was trying to draw more outfits that weren't hoodies again. Yeah, just some random stuff, just like some stuff to do because I didn't know what to do. I was a bit desperate at that point. So yeah, so this is something I stuck in afterwards because I didn't really like what was under it, so I drew this at the end of my trip. And this is very inspired by how one of my friends, her name was Courtney, would draw. She was so good with the line art. Her line art would be fantastical. And I got very inspired by how she drew, and I still use these techniques like today because she draws very well. She really liked to draw furries and dragons and all that stuff. And I had this page in a booklet of mine, and I just thought like, oh, it would be so cool to draw on like a photo kind of page, and so I did this dragon, and I really like how it came out. But that was at the end of sketchbook, so when I was a bit better already. Here, I was trying to, again, inspire by Tricky Wagon, because she was still my favourite, not artist, but this was my favourite video back then. Just this one sketchbook tour of her, it was amazing. I know it by heart, I think. So I was trying to do like heads. I was failing. This one wasn't too bad, but the rest was a bit weird. Here again, I was failing horribly. Then this was a goodbye page by Cam Scott. He was one of the people that I was hanging around with at school. He was my art class. He was a lot of fun. He was cool. And this was his goodbye page. So this was at the end of my trip. Sometimes the things that are not in order. So I drew another person. I drew this girl. So this was basically a school uniform. The colours are a bit different. So we had this huge jacket. It was so big. And a short skirt that would be blue. And then this was the right colour for the shirt under it, but we had straps on it. And then we had the school scarf, which didn't look like this. The school scarf was in red and blue. And our colours weren't that nice. They were pretty bad, but, you know. This was me. So I wanted to use this structure again. After that, I stopped using it, I think. And just do more with watercolours, because I figured out that this was really good for watercolours. So I did this. I tried to add like some effects. I don't know if I like this or hate this. It's a bit weird. It works out, and I don't hate this too much. I do like when the eyes are connected to like the eyelid. I do think that's a good thing, and I like that I tried out different hairstyles for guys because I have no idea how to draw these. And then from my watercolor color swaps, I guess, I drew some animals, and honestly I like these dogs. I really like these dogs. I think they're super cool, and these tiny ducks, they're pretty adorable. And so yeah, and then again drew this girl. This was directly copied from this artist called Mete, and I was starting to get obsessed with her sketchbook tour, which was her core art sketchbook tour, and I watched it 5,000 times. It's also one of these videos I know by heart because it's so good. And I drew this, and I got very inspired by how she would draw things, and started analysing like, okay, how does she do with the shapes? Because I really like the puffy jacket shape and all that stuff. I really like the abstractness of it. So here was just like, again, drawing weird stuff, getting comfortable in the sketchbook. So yeah, as you can see, this style, this very like urban, abstract kind of, I don't know, weird style, I used it again to draw this page. And I really like this page because I didn't really use, back then I never used photo reference, but I really like this person especially. I do think this looks really cool and modern and just very interesting and nice. I just like the spread a lot. It's very nice and just looks good. Then this was my second Saturday. I was staying in Auckland. I was out with a friend of mine. There was a shopping cart laying around, and he started pushing me around and was great. And then it started raining, and so I was basically protecting all his art supplies while he was just walking in the rain. It was great. I love it because there's so many good memories in the sketchbook. So this was just drawing where I started trying to use Courtney's techniques in terms of line art. I didn't fail horribly, but you know, this is like a nose I never do. It's how Humming Fluff does her noses. This is just random stuff. I had fun drawing the sweater. That's just like, I could let loose and just like draw random things, and it was a lot of fun. I hate this drawing so much, especially because of the face, and it's just weird overall. But this is what the guys would wear. They just wear shirt and then shorts, and that was the school uniform for the guys. This I'm very proud of because I did not sketch anything on it. I just went straight in with some white Posca pen. And so I'm super proud of myself that the body proportions aren't completely wrong. There's some random stuff. I just had fun with my brush pen. And there we go. This was from a photo reference. I was like, you're going to draw something properly. And it's not great, but the photo reference definitely helps me with especially clothing and how things fall and the folds and stuff. And this was just some random thing. I didn't use a photo reference for that. People like this a lot. I just don't really care because it doesn't show any skills I have. It's just an interesting way to use my fine liners. This was my English teacher. She came into the classroom and just suddenly had this flower crown on, and she just kept it, and it was a lot of fun. It was cool. So yeah, this was my friend Leticia. She was so good at drawing. Like, look at that. Look at this. I'm so honored to have her art in my sketchbook. So freaking honored. She is amazing. So she's got DeviantArt, and also now she's got an Instagram. So she was so sweet and lovely and just so nice and adorable. There we've got my third Saturday that I was all spending with the same friends, and this is all we did. We went to have steamed buns and like some soup. We went to get some Starbucks. It was his first time having Starbucks. Somebody took photos of us. We got mistaken for college students, and we went to the art museum here and there. Went to the park with its huge trees and climbing on them, and then we went to the library. It was just a really good day. It was probably the best day I've ever spent. Like, it was the best day ever. It was so good. So this was just random sketches of people. I tried using pink, but I hate pink, so you can see. So this, I added this also at the end of my trip because there were some blank pages I wanted to fill up. And this was my teacher for media studies, which basically was analysing films and talking about films. So it was so cool. I stuck this in. I drew her while she was at her computer, and then she wrote her name there, and that was just very nice. She was such a lovely person. And I just stuck this quote in from my notebook I had to make it fuller. So this was me trying to draw people, especially guys, but all of these things, I just don't like them at all. They're pretty bad. Then the next pages, me being like, okay, you need to draw more people. So all of these obviously are for photo reference, but I cringe so hard looking at these. These are so bad. There's a lot of weird stuff in here. You don't really need to see that. Oh, there we go. Next one is this, and I don't hate this. It was the first time that I used my normal, like, you know, I draw something with fine line and then add some shadows with one color technique, but with watercolors, and honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I like this character, and it's again a character with like huge hands. I don't know why I like this kind of thing, but he is pretty dope. I like him. I like how he looks like I like his vibe. Let's say, I hate using the word vibe, but I like him. I think he's cool for what he is. He's pretty dope, or she. Nobody knows what this actually is, but so this was inspired by. It's very messy, but there was this part of town you could see the Sky Tower, and in front of it there was this hotel that was like this Chinese house, and it looked so cool when you were looking down from the art museum. This is what you would see. You wouldn't see this, like this is all invented, this is not even the perspective, but you'd more or less see this, like that, and it looked so like that. And it looked so cool. I just love the contrast, and I felt like I was in this, in the movie of Big Hero 6, where they had like this Friend So Cute theme. A guy, just random stuff. I tried to do like geometric shapes and stuff, and yeah, just some things I tried out. Oh, then I bought myself, when I was at the mall, I bought myself this, because I was like, oh hey, I can sketch faster with this and be more loose. But the thing is, this smudges as soon as you put water in it, so I was just like scribbling away, and I mean, most of the stuff is pretty bad, but it was fun, because I didn't sketch before sketching with that. And here I just drew a girl that was walking by with another school uniform, and just like people and random stuff. Again, these were all sketches I did. This time I used some pencil under it, but I quickly realised here that this doesn't work. Like, you can't put water in it or any kind of markers. I still use this pen now. I stopped using it at some point, but now I use it again because it's just so fast and convenient. You just have to pay attention. It's not made to be beautiful, it's just to, you know, get some exercise. And I do like this character. I do like the cartoony vibes. It gives me vibes. I hate it so much when I say vibes. Some people on the train, and just some random people trying to be fast. So cute. Yeah, so this was when I started being a bit nostalgic about being at home, and I tried to draw my friends, but I was failing so hard, and then I realised I don't actually know what my friends look like. It was so sad. This was me trying to find out how Leticia drew her characters. So this is obviously not how I draw normally, but I kind of included some of her like approaches into my art. I feel like the camera is focusing my fingers when it should be focusing on the paper. So this is very disgusting. I hate this, and I don't really care that there are some things in here. This is just not, no. Especially not this. What was this? It looks like he wrapped himself in a blanket. It looks so weird. But here we've got, I had some letters from my mum and dad. I had some letters from my grandma, and this again was a letter from my sister. So I loved getting letters. That was probably the best part of being abroad. You got letters, and that was just so sweet and nice, and you felt very loved. It was really cute. So this is this was done with a pen again. I really didn't care about that one. You can see that it smudges. So this was my bio environment. In biology, I was sitting next to Carl and Abigail, and she was just being a 3-year-old literally all the time. She would just goof off every time, and he would just like give up. He was just like, I can't do this. And that was so cool. I loved them so much. I did a lot of stuff with Carl during my free time. He was such a nice person. I rarely met somebody that nice, honestly. He was so sweet. So this was, I had this at the end too, so this is also from when I finished it. This was a house I was passing every day when I went to school, and it looked so nice because the garden was just so beautiful, and so I did a quick watercolor thing of it. It was just so nice. It was a very nice garden. I love it a lot. And this was my Sunday. I was just, you know, working. My cat was on me all the time. Then I was reading. My cat was next to me all the time. And then my friend called me, and we had a discussion about Snickers because it included his name. Yeah. I see this person, a lot of people don't like him, but he was very considerate with me while I was in New Zealand, so I can't really say anything bad about him. This again, so this is Eden brought back to life. I designed like a bit different uniform for her. I want to have trousers for her. And so yeah, I was just like scribbling around. I do like these sketches still. So yeah, where it all began. So my art career, I'm going to say, online started with Amino, which is this it's this app you can get where you can find out communities for literally everything. And I was in the Art Amino and Arts and OCs, I think. And that's where I started posting art and talking to people online. It was a lot of fun. And the first thing I did was art trades. Yeah, Amino art trades, where somebody would draw a character of mine, and then I would draw their character. So I was just going online being like, oh, I haven't been on Amino for at least a year or something. And so I'd just go back and be like, hey, does anybody want me to draw their characters? Just for all time's sakes. And so that's what I did. I really like this a lot. It just looks good. I don't know. Yeah, this was from a person called Gay Zombie, and this was from a person called Dark Shadow. And these were my characters. So this is Eden, this is Aaron. He looks more like that today, so this is more accurate. That too. And this is Kyle. Yeah, they'll look pretty okay. Here we've got a woman and a guy. I don't know. I was just drawing stuff. And then it's like more Kyle, but I didn't really properly draw him. So there you can see this is a very precious page. I love it a lot because this is a page Courtney drew. So Courtney's my other friend who was amazing at, look at this line art. How perfect can it be? It is so nice. It's so beautiful. It's so smooth too. Like, she was a master at this. I am so honored to have this in my sketchbook. So good. So this was me fooling around. I ultimately hate this, so I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just like fooling around. So I went to the zoo with Carl because he was inviting me. So I'd like, oh, let's go to the zoo. He was very interested in New Zealand wildlife, and he wanted to have a bird when he grew up. I think this one, I don't remember. Just wanted to have a huge bird. It was one of his dreams, and was like, go for it. He's like, I don't have money. So we went there, and he could tell me a lot about birds, and I especially loved the bird part. Everything about the zoo was amazing, but the birds were really like catching my attention, especially like very local birds that we saw, like the welcome swallow and the fantail, which I thought was so adorable. I have a fantail pin now though, and the kiwi. I saw a kiwi in the zoo. I was very lucky, and then other birds. Oh, it was so cool. He could tell me a lot about the birds, and we just had so much fun. I was so interested. It was really good. And then I just drew like some random people, and I think this was very inspired by a short film that I saw in New Zealand, which was, it's not a short film, it's a student thesis film, and it's called Best Friend, and it's about this dystopian world where people have these digital best friends, and it's a really gorgeous short animated film. It's really, really nice. Then I was reading about this person who lost both her arms and had this bionic arm, and I just thought it was cool, but this sketch isn't great. It's just like, So this again was Courtney. She doesn't draw a lot of people. She does a lot of fan art. So this is obviously from I don't even know, this paint wall game for Nintendo. I don't remember what it's called, with these squids and stuff. So she drew me this stuff, and it was just so much fun. Our Courtney was amazing. She was autistic, but I got along with her very well. This is just some random stuff I did. I didn't really care. She's just ugly. And this was me, because I saw Weathering with You at Academy Cinema. Academy Cinema was a very small cinema that was located under the library in the city, and it was showing a lot of like international films and interesting films. And so I had the opportunity to watch the new Shinkai film, which was Weathering with You, in Japanese with English subtitles, and I could not believe my luck. I was so happy about that. And I literally just went into town just to watch this film. I went into town. It's 1 hour to go there and 1 hour to go back to see a 2-hour film. But it was worth it. It was so worth it. It was so good. So there's fan art of this. Because I wore this jacket when I was in New Zealand, so I included it on the character. And yeah, these were people I drew while I was sitting in one of my favourite cafes. It was called Shakey. And I drew people that were just passing by. And so this was the bio trio. I like to say trio, but that doesn't work. Bio trio. That would be a lot cooler. So Abigail, Carl, and me. I was small. These people were tall people, okay? And I was a small bean, but yeah, they were just really nice and cool. I love drawing Abigail's hair. It just looked so cool. So Weathering with You again, I had nothing to do. These were like some note cards I had to have for my English class, but I used them to do art on them. And under this, there's a very big rant about how I should get to work and how I should be motivated and all that stuff, because you can like lift this up. And this is just some random stuff. Yeah, this was basically, after that I rewatched Your Name just to see how good it actually was, and it wasn't that good. Like I think I even preferred, I don't even know which one I preferred. They weren't both that outstanding. So this is basically just like some scribbly drawing of Your Name, the comic that was, falling apart. Here we've got what my room looked like in New Zealand. I only had 2 windows. I don't know why I threw in a 3rd window, but this is what it looked like. This was my bed. I had this thingy. I had my keyboard that I was renting, and this was my desk, and I had the bathroom here in the closet. I had a big closet. And then here we had the hallway in the common area. And this was Leticia again. She was so nice. She called me a lovely person, thank you. She was so good and so nice and adorable. And everything she drew, I would just say, can I have this? And stick it in my sketchbook. So you've got more watercolor stuff. Just trying out stuff. I like his shirt though. I think that's cool, but not him. Yeah, just some random things. This is yeah, nice nose, dude. Yeah, he's got a nice nose. This is a bit cute. Yeah, that's true. I did this with my brush pen. This is not too bad either. Oh, this page is a mess. So I was on this trip with my host mum and her grandson, and we had I got along very well with the grandson. I was babysitting him basically, but he was so cute. And he had this crazy idea about like the kingdom of gannets, because gannets are these birds that live on the New Zealand shore, and we went to a beach to see the nests and them, obviously. And so he was obsessed with the Lion King because he had seen it the day before that, and so he was obsessed with it. And so basically he did the Lion King, but only with the Gannets. And so I would sketch out his ideas because he was like, "We're going to make a comic book." I'm like, "Yes." And then he said, "We're going to make a TV show." I'm like, "Yes, we are." It was so adorable. And yeah, this is some stuff I did. Just random things. I am so proud of this sketch. Not because he was wearing a hoodie, because again, this is my standard outfit choice, but because it has a bit of a different perspective. Looking back at it, I'm like, this is wrong. But first off, look at his hair, okay? It's not the standard hair. I included a very like sharp and geometrical style into this, but also he's looking up, so you can see under his chin, which means that this is different than my normal head poses, and I was getting a bit out of my comfort zone. This is still something I tried to do today, but I'm getting better at it, and that's really a goal of mine, to not be stuck into like these positions or these positions, because there's nothing happening. Like, the person doesn't look up or down or to the side or anything like that, just like normal stuff. So the idea I got like this kind of style from, that's very sharp and edgy, is from a video called Summer Nights from CMS. CMS is a band that is well known for having very great music videos that are animated. They have a music video called The Wolf, which is so genius. This video is so genius. They use like empty space and stuff so beautifully, and it's all in black and white and red, and it's just such a nice aesthetic. And from the Summer Nights video, I copied some things because I liked how they did the characters so so sharp and geometrically, and so I copied some stuff, especially like on the shadows and stuff. I was really interested. And I included this afterwards. So I did this character from this style and this character. And I like the way it looked sharper. I didn't really like how it's trying to make everything soft anymore. And so I like this very sharp style. Sometimes you can see this stuff shine through in my newer drawings. And here again, I was trying to include what I learned and drew something. Again, a bit sharper. Yeah, I was trying to do like an action scene. And I was like, I don't know how the arms are attached to the body. I think that now I get it more, but back then it was terrible. Oh my god. So I'm going to start with this. So I signed up for a day where we had a go at rugby. So it's called Have a Go at Rugby, and this was obviously the 2019 version of it. And it's just international students and international college students just coming together and just learning how to play rugby, because New Zealand is not the native country, sorry. And so we were learning rugby on this one day. It was like a workshop. It was so much fun. I was the only high school student there, but it was so nice. Everybody was so interesting, and we were talking about, oh, where are you from? And then people would talk about their experiences in New Zealand and abroad, and it was so nice. It was very lovely. I signed up for this online because I saw that my school said like, oh, you can go with them. I'm like, oh, sure, I'm going to do that, because obviously I wanted to use all the resources that were given to me. And I met I can't pronounce his name, Strahan. He's a former All Blacks player, and so I was so proud because my grandpa was a rugby trainer, and he would be so proud that I tried rugby and I had so much fun with it. And because I'm a big rugby fan, my family overall was a big rugby fan. My father not so much, but on the French side we are. And so I was super proud to have met this guy. So he wrote this down, and I made this tiny sketch of what was happening, and including after that we got some free tickets to watch a rugby match. It was Auckland against Wellington, and we lost as you can see, but it was still a great experience. I've never seen a live rugby game. I was super excited. It was so cool. And there was this elderly woman on the train, and we started talking just randomly, because I don't know why New Zealand people are so open and nice and friendly. And she just started talking to me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm from abroad. I'm really excited to go to this game. She's like, oh, we're going too. And so I ended up sitting next to her. And while we watched the game, she was telling me about life story and all of that. And I talked to her about what I was doing here. And she bought me free chips. Like, she bought me free French fries. I was blown away. I was like, oh, I don't need to eat anything. It's okay. I forgot to buy food. I was just so excited. I just forgot everything. She's like, oh no, sweetie, I'm going to buy something. And she bought me. She was so nice. I just don't know her name. I've never seen her. I mean, we didn't keep in contact, because why should we? But it was just such a nice, like, I don't know. It was such a nice meeting. So cool. So these are the end pages. I drew nothing of this. This is all of my friends, all the people I knew at school that were drawing me stuff in here because I wanted them to do that so they could say goodbye officially in my sketchbook. So this was Shalon. She was very sweet and very nice. She was an anime fan and she was good friends with Leticia. This was, I'm so sorry I can't pronounce the name, but Ignor. And I think she came from Turkey. Yeah, she came from Turkey and she was living in New Zealand for 3 years. And she was in my DVC class, so design and visual communication class. She was very nice. She was always on the bus with me, and I would always talk to her about stuff that probably wasn't interesting to her, but she was very nice and sweet and always listened to me and always was very understanding, and she was a very nice person. This is Leticia's page. So to my amazing friend, she was so nice. Oh my god, I miss her so much. She was so cool. She drew me all the stuff. She knew her like Ladybug, so she drew me Cat Noir, and she drew me this, and a dragon, and a dog. She liked to draw dogs a lot too. And this small tiny girl, I showed her this video. I don't even know who this, from Louis Zong. Louis Zong is a person who makes music and animation videos, and there's this one video from him where there's just like a bunch of singing ghosts, and I showed it to her and she thought it was fun, and so she drew the tiny singing ghost. And she, because of Courtney, so this person, I got reinvested in Pokemon. And so, I mean, Leticia has no idea what Pokemons are. I mean, she does know it, but she's not involved. And she tried to draw me a Pikachu, and it was so adorable because she had no idea how to draw it. Oh, God. So this is Courtney's page. The other very talented artist friend I had that you've seen some stuff of. She was the queen of line art. Like, look at this line art. So here she drew me some Pokemon. And she drew me a dragon. She was very good with all of these fantastical creatures here, and another Pokemon, another dragon, and yeah, this is such a dope page. I love it so much. It's really cool. So this was somebody else again. This was somebody else. This was Michaela. I mean, the same person. This was both Michaela. Sorry. So this was Abigail, my bio partner. This was Victor, the local cool gay, and who was that? Oh, Giselle, sorry. This was Giselle. She was really sweet. I went to watch a movie with her. I went to watch The Lion King, and we both just sat there and were like, this is horrible. This was Remy, and this was Lewis. With Remy, you could talk about a lot of like political stuff. It was really fun. Lewis was just the most random person I've ever seen. And this was Nicole. She was from Australia, and basically everybody was just being super annoying to her because she couldn't pronounce things properly. Like, properly how people would pronounce them. This was Isra. Isra was so nice. She was really sweet. She wasn't my English class. We never had anything to do with each other, but she was just really nice. And this was Zion, my very good friend I spent almost all my weekends with. And again, Leticia, because she wasn't finished, she had to draw me a baymax with a cat in it. Because we both loved baymax and we both loved the artist I was talking about in my first sketchbooks, Tamaika, who was from New Zealand, and she was just like drawing me Baymax, and he's so cute and big and adorable. Look at that squishiness, and look at that cat, so adorable. I love her so much. This is adorable too. Stuck this in, I think. Oh no, she drew this. And this was my English teacher. She saw that people were drawing in my sketchbook, and she was like, oh, can I also draw something? I'm like, oh sure, of course. And she was very nice. She was a very nice teacher. Sometimes I didn't really know if she hated me. But I think she was just very good at saying what she had in her mind, but that didn't mean she didn't like me. This was Xian's twin brother. He was such a weeb. He was such a weeb. This was the last time I saw Xian. I was at his place, and because, you know, we had this joke about potatoes and noodles, and so one time he made potato noodle soup. And so he gave me the recipe, which obviously is not too hard. I mean, this is a lot of carbs, but it's made with love. It's the magic soup. It's a magic soup. And yeah, so it was really sweet. That's like a weird dish, but it's a good dish. It's good, some good stuff. So this is from Leticia again. I tried to stick it in, but made like a weird stain on it. But it's baymax. And here I just stuck in everything people gave me, and still a lot of pages. So I got this wonderful cater pie, but it's shiny. So yeah, what do you expect? From Xian, I got this from Xander. This is Mrs. Kemp. She was the international students director at my school. She was so nice. She would sometimes just invite me for tea and just ask me, so how are you doing? And she was a lovely person. I feel like I'm always saying that everybody was a lovely person, but it's just true. Everybody was a lovely person. I think I did not meet anybody I hated. These are all the stamps I collected from getting letters and getting messages, and I was always so happy to get letters. That was the best thing ever. This was what... I have to blur my address afterwards. Oh man. Yeah, this was what my letters looked like. This was from my sister, I think. And then these are my flight tickets, economy class, obviously. This is a ticket for the train from Sturgis Road to Henderson. This was the regional sales manager of the UP thing. So I went one day, I went to an open day for an art university because, again, I was signing up for everything I could do in Auckland because, you know, I had to use my time there. And so I went to this open day of this art university and they were like, oh, we'd like to have you. You're pretty cool and you're pretty good. Like, when you finish with school, just come over. I'm like, but I don't live in New Zealand. Like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Germany. And they were like, oh, but, you know, if you one time you really want to come, then we've got somebody who can help you as an international student. This was when I was with my parents already, when they came to pick me up. We went to Hobbiton movie set thing. So we saw the tiny houses and it was really cute. And yeah, that's the end. And Carl, another very good friend of mine that I drew, he didn't draw me anything. And I said, Carl, you need to draw me something. He's like, I know. And he never drew me something. He said he would send it to me, but I know that he just forgot. And that's a bit sad. That's a reminder that he never sent it to me. So this is the page where I just try all of my art supplies out to see how this paper works. And yeah, that's the end. Oh yeah, reference for copied art, because I really never copy anything, but this time I did. So the hat cities were from Tricky Wagon on Tumblr. So yeah, the girl with the beanie, so the thing from Mete, I already said that. The portraits were from the 100 head challenge on Tumblr too. And the girl with the glasses, oh yeah, so CMA's Summer Nights, it's on YouTube, so if anything is interesting about that. So this is the quality control seal thing. Then we had an amnesty thing in our school, so I've got this amnesty sticker from New Zealand. This was my favourite bookshop. It was called Unity Books, and I bought a very, very good book there. This is a fake New Zealand $5. I don't know why I've got this. It was just laying around in my homeroom. And my teacher just gave it to me. I was like, cool, now I know what this looks like. Because the thing in New Zealand is, everybody always pays everything with a card. So I never really saw New Zealand money. I just pay with my card. And, I mean, I knew what New Zealand money was worth, but then I never saw it. So this was my first time seeing like $5. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And it looks so cool. Like, just look at it. It looks so much better than our money. And then in here, I think I've got some stuff still. Oh, some memory cards from my English class. And oh yeah, this is a very small, disgusting drawing of Carl that I made because we went canoeing, as you can see. And we went canoeing, but the thing is, like in the ocean, because we're trying to get some scallops. And the thing is, it was very, like the water was very shallow. So probably half of the time, not half, 90% of the time, we're just like dragging the boat from sandbank to sandbank. And so we had to tie the boat to a waist, and we would walk, like we arranged it so that we would both walk next to each other and would be tied around each other's waist, and then we'd go back, you know, like that. And it was a very smart idea because then, yeah, it was a fun day. It was really hard. There was a lot of exercise and we didn't find a single scallop, but I had a lot of fun. I never went canoeing into the sea, so I was really grateful that Carl just took me with him. There's a lot of different other stories about this still, but yeah, so this was my New Zealand sketchbook. This is probably the sketchbook that holds the most sentimental value to me, because there's drawings of people in here that I will probably never see again, and there's so many good memories just connected to it that you cannot have in a photo. So yeah, this is probably my most, I was going to say my most prized possession, but I've already said like 5 times, I think. And you can see that it's very like thick because I used a lot of watercolor. And during this time, being in contact with so many other creative people, with so many new things, with so many new situations and medias, I was really improving. This is when I really started improving fast, like fast. This is when I started filling up my page a lot more, being a lot more productive, knowing where I wanted to go, knowing where I wanted to improve, and just this was a very big journey for me. Being in New Zealand really changed me as a person, but also as an artist, because obviously both of them are tightly intertwined. I don't think that art is ever going to be something that is not going to play a part in my life, because it's so important to me and it determines so much of who I am. Yeah, this really is not my best sketchbook in terms of drawing, but my best sketchbooks in terms of development, inspiration, and all of that stuff. So there you go. Sometimes it takes time to get out of your comfort zone, but when you do, it's the best thing you've ever done, I swear. Taking inspiration from your real life is what makes your drawing have real depth and have real meaning and be important to you. So I guess that's like my lesson for the day. I hope you liked the video. I'll see you soon in the next one, I guess. Have a good time. Bye bye.